Welcome back already. Sorry about that small little hiccup. We're back now. Cloud9 versus Team Fire. Draft well and truly more or less complete here, as Cloud9 going to pick up the Eternal Envy, Faceless Void. Typically him at least playing this as a safe lane farmer. And Team Fire go into an AA Centaur. I'm Godz. Joining me is Blitz.
Hello once again.
Hello once again, yeah.
We did our whole intro number so 2. Now I feel weird about.
I know, we don't have to do the full intro. I mean, people heard and saw most of it.
The gist is it's cold.
Yeah, it's good. It's cold here in LA. We've got the worst weather you can possibly imagine. I don't want to complain about bad weather because I'm going to Kiev in 2 weeks and it's middle of winter. I'm possibly going to China in February. It's also winter there. I think that's going to be actually cold.
It's so cold in Asia. You have no idea.
Man. You think, but Kiev, man. Like I feel like Ukraine just.
It's going to be miserable.
Oh, that's going to be fun. Okay, so Cloud9, last pick coming their way. Fire, similar story. I lost my flow, man. Like we were on a roll. We were being professional.
Here's what we were talking about. We said Lion was probably not going to mid.
Yeah.
I was going to say the reason why is because you don't want to give your mid hero a lot of levels and have it be such a easily killable hero. Like Lion isn't very tanky. He doesn't have any sort of escape mechanism. You're not going to build something like a 4-staff defensively on him first. You're going to get aggressive, and if you pump a lot of levels into him and he gets ganked once or twice, it means a whole lot more than if he was a support.
Yeah.
And a hero, I could foresee Cloud9 putting the Venomancer mid, because it is a tanky hero. Ganking Veno doesn't really accomplish too much, and ganking for him doesn't accomplish too much. It's kind of just a self-sufficient hero. It does a lot in terms of it pushes out the other mid hero. It puts a lot of pressure on your tower. So leaving to gank the mid lane for Fire, if the mid hero just goes away, the Veno's going to take your tower really quickly. It's not as quick as a DP ult, but you can start from like level 3 just pressuring the lane. And so I could see a Veno mid this game. I guess Zeus mid wouldn't be too bad either. But I think Veno and Lion as a support combo isn't very good.
Well, they last pick Batrider, which is typically Bone 7's hero for the offlane. So it looks like maybe a Zeus-Lion support duo.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think the Venom mid is something Cloud9 have run a lot of, especially during the summit. They were putting fat on this quite often. It feels like if you want to kill a Venom, you have to bring 3 heroes, and it's like you're ganking a Venom at that point. How much value do you really get out of killing him if the Void and your Batrider's getting a lot of farm elsewhere? So Fire still need their mid hero, and I mean, I don't think you're looking to counter the Venom with this last pick, but I think you want something that more complements your lineup with the Centaur Jug.
Yeah. Cloud9 actually have really good heroes against mobility mids, like Storm. That was the first hero I thought of. I mean, I guess Puck,
what a surprise.
I guess Puck could be okay here. I think I would like a control hero by them, and I think C9 notices that, and they banned out the Brewmaster and the Night Stalker, which are 2 really good control heroes. Because if you're going to pick any sort of low HP mobile hero, you're going to get shut down in so many different ways. The Lion Hex lasts forever, the Batrider Blink Initiation is really strong, and the Chronos hero from Void is just miserable to play against.
15 seconds left. We'll see what Fire go for here as their last pick. Game 1 of a best of 3 here. Winner of this goes to the grand finals of this America qualifier. I think they get a 1-0 advantage in the BO5. So it's kind of like a small consolation. I mean, it's a decent enough prize, and you're guaranteed to be in that finals, although I think both teams would expect to get to the grand finals even if they lose this, with E-Hug and Complexity already done in the lower bracket.
Yeah, definitely.
Viper last pick, so TC going to be handling the Viper, get some poison on poison action in the mid lane. This is like 2 of Merlini's. These are his 2 most hated heroes. There's only Viper? 2 heroes he repicks, and he says it's Veno and Viper. That's exactly what we're going to see in the mid lane.
I think Viper was actually a really good pick here. If you assume you're going to get Chronoed or you're going to get Lockdown, Viper's a really good hero to be okay with that, because you're still going to be putting out damage with Corrosive Skin. And if you don't lock him down, if you are losing the fight, for whatever reason, it's miserable to play against. Think about heroes like Faceless Void and Batrider. After they use their initiation spells, they don't really have a whole lot of ways to get out. And so I think that's why the Viper pickup is really strong here, because if they don't manage to kill the Viper, or if they aren't winning the fight really hard, Fire have a really good way of kiting and turning around the fight.
Yeah, there's just so much magic damage going around too, which Viper can kind of deal with pretty well. I mean, even you look at a Void, so much of like his bashes, if he goes for the Maelstrom build, is going to be magic damage as well, so Mike going to go for the level 1 TP and to ward up the top lane. As we'll get things underway here in our first game. So typical Mike going to be going to that off-lane role on the Centaur. And for Cloud9, looks like it will be the support Zeus's No-Tail. We'll take that one up, leaving Fata the Venomancer.
Yeah, I really like that Mike did this, though. For like a low cost, he gets to put down the ward without them seeing him.
Yeah.
And I think that's really smart, because it's going to be really difficult getting a whole lot out of this lane. with Zeus and Lion being the supports, and so getting that ward down is really pivotal. It'll keep him
Yes.
alive, and he can get some free levels on the side as well.
You're up against a Zeus who's pretty good at dewarding, but the TP means like immediately we see Misery go top lane with boots to try scout out where the ward's planted. So unless they expected Mike to do the TP ward, they're not going to be checking like this deep for the ward, because the way the timing works is that Misery would have scouted this ward be planted if he didn't TP. So you'll see like the bulk coming out kind of more to the left here, and even if there's like, well, I don't think they're going to go for sentries, but interesting bit of play. But for now, we'll introduce our two teams on the Radiant side. It's going to be Team Fire with Fluff and Stuff on the support, Vengeful Spirit, Ush playing the Juggernaut, Fogged on the support AA, Boots first for him, TC going mid on the Viper, and Mike top lane, the Centaur War Runner for him. And do you want to introduce the Dire side, William?
Sure, and for C9 we've got Misery playing the Lion support, we've got Big Daddy No Tail playing the Zeus, we've got Bone 7 on his traditional Bat Rider, that's a hero we see him on so often,
Yep.
Eternal Envy going to be playing the Void, and Fada is going to be on your mid Venomancer.
Right off the bat, Bone 7 is going jungle. Envy was kind of previously quelling blading down some trees here, but it seems the plan is going to be Bone 7, ditch the offlane, Venge AA Juggernaut. I don't really blame him for that.
Yeah, it's going to be a miserable tri-lane to go up against.
Yeah.
Venge is actually a really, really strong hero against Bat Rider. You can trade right clicks with him pretty well. The stun locks him down really nicely, and it's just not worth his time. He can get a lot more out of the offlane this way, whereas Mike can't really. Mike has to stand in this lane, because jungling with Centaur early is really inefficient. And so, the Bat Rider's going to get screwed at bottom. Why even bother going there?
So we'll see if Mike will get much out of this lane. It looks like he can at least maybe leech some experience, but Bone 7 doing some cute little plays here. He's going to fall back, stack. He's working on the medium camp with like the little kind of pseudo cliff jungling in some ways, and Bone 7 even getting the double stack off. So this is just very efficient play. He's not going to get a fast. He's not going to be able to farm this right away, but this is kind of like an investment towards the future.
Yeah. And he's got, like you said, 2 stacks going. He's kind of doing this like cool trick where he cut down the trees on the right there, and he was trying to like right click them. But it's going to take Bat Rider forever because he's only got 40 base damage.
And doesn't have the 600 range, so he can't even, like, he had to kind of follow the Centaur around, but he'll use his first Firefly, so. Cool little Bat Rider jungle techniques, and we'll see Mike in the offlane get nothing, which is where the Bat Rider will quite heavily outfarm Mike in due time.
Yeah, and Mike also went return first, so he's not going to be able to pressure the lane at all. No Tail and Misery are getting a lot out of this lane. They're both already level 2, whereas at bottom, Fire have just started getting their connect pull off, and they're only level 1.
Yep. Well, it does mean Misery is not getting a very good trade when he starts right-clicking Mike with the return, but if you find something like an Invis or a Haste Rune as a Centaur, you want to have that point in Hoofstomp, so you could try gank the mid lane, go into the enemy jungle, maybe go for some kind of a pseudo gank, but not going to happen right off the bat. So, I mean, for Fire, they've got this Venge AA. Are they going to be looking for a smoke gank? Are they looking just to pull and stack themselves? What do they look to do to kind of... I mean, it feels like they're losing the lane state just because their offlane's getting nothing, while C9 have a Bat Rider who's going to be having a lot of farm and stacks going his way.
Yeah, I assume Fluff is going to try to stack this large camp for Mike to catch up on with the double edge and the stun at some point, and I could foresee them going for their gank here. Venge does have a smoke queued up, and maybe they're going to wait for the level 2 first. I think it's a good idea, because you're not accomplishing anything in this bottom lane. Bone 7 just immediately off the bat went for the jungle.
Yeah.
So there's no real point in just continuously stacking and pulling and keeping the lane in one area. You do one of two things here. Either you go around and try to push out the tower when the catapult comes and just do a single pull, or you go for the gank.
Alright, well, for now they're using that Howl, doing pulls for the time being here, although not going to be able to clear off this medium camp with just the small little creep wave they've got, so... For Fire, things are playing out fairly slowly for now, but that needs to change soon. Mike's still getting completely zoned out of this offlane.
Yeah, he's still level 1 right now. Misery just going to throw down the stun for fun.
Yeah.
And he still has a salve, so his regen is okay, and No Tail's kind of out of mana. You notice that neither of them went for a smoke as well, because both of these supports aren't really focused on ganking a Viper.
Yeah.
They're actually just focused on getting as many levels as they can. They have to be greedy in this laning phase, because I think Fire has the better mid-game lineup.
Yep. Yeah, the Juggernaut's going to kind of reach this stage where he can fight really well, and he's getting that free farm at bottom lane, but normally you think Jug, you want to be kind of dominating a lane, going for some kills where possible, not just trying to look to farm. Top lane, Mike now going to get jumped on, gets the hoof stomp off though, has reached level 2, so he did manage to at least get that, and without that, MB probably gets that kill. Does have 2 points in the time lock, may have needed that RNG bash, but Fire now on the move themselves, looking for a first blood in the mid lane.
Yeah, they have to do this just to make this lane worth it, because there's nothing going on at the bottom lane. You're not pushing down the tower, and so this gank should be a little bit obvious to Fata when both supports go missing like this.
No one has a TP on the Dire side, though, so we're not going to see any support TPs to help Fata out. And Fluff, I like this move. He's going to actually loop around from behind with the smoke from behind. Get down a ward to scout out these stacks, and this is going to nicely scout the Batrider and also set for first blood. Fata's got no way out of this one. Fluff gets the last hit with the Howl. Probably maybe wanted to leave that for the Viper, but it doesn't end up mattering too much. They get the first blood.
Yeah, that was a really well-executed gank. I think Fata stood still completely in the mid lane, a little bit closer to his tower, so the gank from the bottom wasn't exactly going to work like they wanted it to, so he loops around, makes absolute sure that that gank works, because if they wasted time there, that would have been a disaster for them.
It also, if they can stop Bone 7 farming this stack with that ward they just put down, that's huge, but doing so is going to be hard. Looks like he's going to farm it up right now. He's getting a big 7-8 napalm stack, and they don't really have anyone who can go in and contest that right now. It looks like they're trying to push down the bottom tier 1, which is what Fire choose to do instead.
Yeah, this is what they had to do. They had to go for the gank, and they had to start pushing down the tower, because if the Batrider doesn't show, you have to take advantage of that.
By the way.
Oh, he just died to the...
And I don't think he spent his money, no. Yeah, that was an odd one. Too many Skeleton Warriors.
Too many... Yeah, that's a lot of them. They do a lot of damage, too, to be fair to them. It's unexpected.
Their damage versus HP is probably like the best of any unit in the game.
Okay, so Ush does he picks up Power Treads, he's got his Bastion, they are going to go for this tower.
Yeah.
They rotate No-Tail down very smartly because he can just spam Arc Lightnings from a really safe distance to just try to get some XP, and look at him, he's already level 4 right now. So he's getting a lot out of this, and if Bone 7 hadn't died there, they would have been accomplishing like pretty much everything on the map that they want to.
Yep. Well, Bone 7 also doesn't even get the big camp back because the skeletons block the spawn, so that really hurts him in more ways than one. But he has got at least a medium camp stack, but it's just going to mean he can't stack this big camp at 52. He's just going to get the single respawn.
Yeah, he's definitely still getting more than Mike is.
Yeah, it's a small thing where he's not getting quite the farm he'd hoped for, but yeah, more than Mike. Mike has actually got a push coming his way, which works in his favor as far as getting XP. At this point for Mike, he just wants his level 6, I feel.
Yeah, he'd be content with that. If the Blink Dagger comes around 20-minute mark, it would still be okay. I think Fire should have stacked a little bit more for him, because if you look at their lineup, they don't have too many ways to initiate. Like, you don't want to use the Venge swap proactively unless you're going for a gank that's in your favor. You want to try to use it to get somebody out of the lasso or out of the Chronosphere. So I think somebody should stack for him a little bit more than they are right now.
He's got the money for the Tranquil Boot, so does have that slightly easier ability to farm, but for now, Team Fire are going to pull back the bottom lane using their AA and look to just kind of... I mean, it feels like their lineup maybe gets strong around that 10-minute-ish mark, so for now it's like, let's just jug as many items and levels as we can, and then get him involved. It looks like Mask of Madness is going to be the item choice for Ush. We've seen this a bit today and yesterday with the Juggernaut builds, ZSMJ going for it, as well as earlier today. I think it was Fire also playing a Mask of Madness Juggernaut.
It's really effective as an item. It's pretty cost effective. You can use just the Mask of Death to jungle pretty effectively. You can use the Mask of Madness to Ancients. It's just a pretty good all-around item. It beefs up your damage by giving you... Wait, it doesn't do that anymore, huh? The mini hits?
With the Mask of Madness? I assumed it did, but...
I thought they got rid of that at some point.
Okay. You know? I'm still stuck in the Dota 1 days. We need to get I don't know, who's our mechanics expert?
I don't know. Kevin?
Kevin, yeah. He'd know that.
He really would, but...
Get Curtis. Curtis would know. Where's AUI when you need him? He's in Las Vegas right now.
So Fire, they're smoked up on top of this cliff. C9 have no idea that they're there, although...
They're going to see Big Daddy.
Yeah, he's going to see.
That works out in their favor. They'll push Mike out of this lane. Fata's got a haste room, but not really... Doesn't really have the damage output to kill anyone on his own.
Yeah, they do spot Mike coming in, and he is going to pop the haste. I think they actually are going to go for this, and that ward block!
Oh dear. And Big Daddy No-Tail comes in. Mike is done for. Can't even hit the hoof stomp. Didn't have a chance to, and...
Wow.
That blocks the entire pathway.
Yeah, he placed it like directly in the middle, and Centaur's too huge. Maybe if it's a slightly thinner hero, like Treant's not going to get past there, but maybe Zeus does? He's really short. It's like the one. It's like
he does his aerobics,
right
yeah. And Zeus looks like an aerobic instructor. Envy gonna chrono for the tower. I guess why not? That's probably worth it. means they're not going to fight around the Chronosphere for the next few minutes, but they haven't got a level 6 Lion. Batrider's farming his Blink up, so they didn't really want to fight around the Chronosphere anyways just yet, but...
Yeah, it's not too big of a deal that they use it there. I guess Envy thought that the 2-minute cooldown was worth the tower, the guarantee tower, and I guess it was in some ways. It's not like he was punished for it immediately after, but it might mean that Fire gets a little bit more aggressive on the map. For 2 minutes, they know that the Chrono's down. They know that Envy's not going to want to take a fight with the Chrono down because it's just too risky too.
Yep. Well, Ush now falling back to the jungle with his Mask of Madness, and he's actually the one taking the stacks here, so they're not giving it Mike's way. He's just going to farm some neutrals on the enemy side of the map. And Viper, very kind of early game centric build, but we haven't really seen that many objectives kind of being taken by him. We haven't seen TC get involved beyond the first blood. He's got 2 Wraith Bands, Treads, doesn't seem to be going for the mech just yet. That's okay, that's it. I wasn't sure if that was us again, but it seems there's some server lag going on, perhaps.
Yeah, I think it's difficult to get aggressive when your Centaur, like I said, if you just look at Fire's lineup for 2 seconds, you're going to see that Centaur's the only way to reliably initiate a fight, but he's not level 6 yet, so you're not going to get the Stampede. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger. He's not even close to a Blink Dagger. It's probably like another 6 minutes if he's doing well. That's why I think the jungle camps should have gone to Mike, but they opt to give it to Ush off the bat. Maybe try to power level him and scale him a little bit quicker than Envy can. But I still think it's a bad idea, because Ush isn't going to do anything if he doesn't really have any sort of initiation.
Yeah. I mean, Mike's playing 5 position right now. He's got the least farm on the entire Fire team.
In the game itself, actually.
Yeah. That's painful. Meanwhile, your Batrider has a Blink Dagger. I think he got this like 8.5 minutes in, and 850 gold. Like, normally you see 9.5 minutes in a Blink Dagger on a jungle Batrider. Like, that's good, but not only that, but he has the money on top of it, so...
Yeah, and they're going to look for a gank on Fogged here. And normally that would be okay, but Fogged's actually level 6 right now, and he's almost got a Midas. And to be able to slow that down at this point in the game is really huge. Like, he's got 291 gold. If he gets another creep wave, he has the Midas.
Yeah.
And if you're going to give an AA Midas like this, I guess it's worth it for C9 to go for this gank here. They're actually going to see it too, because he's bought the recipe. Oh, no, he hasn't. It's not on this hero.
Yeah, it's on the back at base, so... We'll see. It should be a pretty straightforward kill. The Sol Ring's ready for Zeus, so he has a bolt as well as an ultimate, so... no real protection available. Without the Stampede, Viper could TP in, but they're just going to pretty much instantly kill the AA.
Yeah, there's no way that it's worth it for him to go like that.
Yeah.
I guess that was the best. That's the best target on the map right now for them. Ush isn't showing. He's jungling.
He may be able to get some counter kills. He's got Omni Slash, he's got Blade Fury, Morbid Mask for the chase, so... I feel like if they go for this kill, potential counter kill is going to go the way of Ush's Juggernaut.
It just depends on how far he goes into the jungle.
Yep. Alright, looks like the team's ready to go. US East Dota lag continues. So we'll see if they go for this or not. There's 2 heroes showing top, and that's probably where Cloud9 expect even like the Juggernaut or the Vengeful Spirit to maybe... Or they see the Venge mid. They Zeus ulti, so now they do see the Jug. That's kind of their scouting tool to see if Fogged is alone or not, and... Maybe deciding not to go for this kill because of how close the Juggernaut is.
Yeah, they had to have seen that. They are pinging out the jungle, so they know that Ush is in this area. And that's another reason why I think Ush went for this Mask of Madness build, is so he could just transition to the jungle, not use the healing more to have to farm, use it for more for pushes.
Yep.
Because the cooldown is actually quite long on it. It's 60 seconds, it's a full minute. And so if you're able to just jungle and give up one of your really greedy supports like an AA, the farm like this, it's actually really effective.
Oh, here comes the rotation towards the bottom lane, and it's going to be Juggernaut scouting out some heroes here. The Blink Out is available. Big Daddy No Tail has a creep wave which can protect him from... No, it can't really protect him from the Omni Slash. Blade Fury is going to finish him off. And Ice Blast though coming in. Big Daddy No Tail needs to move. He doesn't. Ush now going to go down for this kill. The Healing Ward not able to heal him back up, and that lasso through the Blade Fury, and Jug goes down for the Zeus, but at least Jug gets some XP for it.
Yeah, I think that was really well worth it for him, though.
It was just
a Zeus for the Juggernaut, yeah. Nobody was really around, aside from the Jug, to get the XP on the Zeus kill.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Fada was down there as well. The Batrider got a gank off using the Blink Dagger. I guess that was the only thing that C9 lost, was that they revealed that he did have the Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
But you kind of expect that timing anyways, because he was jungling the entire time.
Well, Fire now, going to look to protect Mike in the bottom lane. He gets ultied by the Venomancer, and now here comes the counter gank from Fluff. Ice Blast being thrown out, but they did not get off the Magic Missile, so Fata should be fine here. And on the back foot is Team Fire, as Big Daddy No Tail, one more bolt, possibly even a couple Arc Lightnings could look to turn this one. TC TP's in to be on the safe side, and doesn't look like there'll be any further casualties. By the way, speaking of TC, Midas is going to be his item of choice as well.
Yes, they've got 2 Midases going online right now. for Fire. So I guess they realized the limitations of their lineup right now. If Mike's not going to get a whole lot, it's probably going to scale later into the game than they'd like. And so they decided to pick up the dual Midas. I mean, it's already paying off. Like, Fogg got a Midas off without dying. We thought he was going to die at bottom, but no, he got that value
800
utility
gold
off.
already. Like, he's going to have an Ag Scepter in probably like 18, 19 minutes if things go just decent for him. So, all in all, it feels like Team Fire happy to play kind of a farm-oriented game against Cloud9, but this next kind of 5 to 10 minutes could be kind of dicey for them, I feel. Envy's got Treads, Mask of Madness. He's gone for this bottle build, which he really likes, and if you find something like a DD rune, you can expect him to go for either a Roshan or go for a team fight around the Chronosphere.
Yeah, and Mike, meanwhile, he does pick up a Magic Stick, but he is in Poverty City. Like, he's got no stacks prepared for him. The jungle is being cleared out by the rest of his team. I mean, it feels like they're stacking him a little bit too much.
He's not even last hitting top. There's no one near him, but he knows Void can solo kill him. End of the day, Void's missing. He has to stay hiding as well. If it was, even if 4 heroes are showing on the map, Void alone will just solo kill him in no time at all.
Yeah, especially with the Zeus ult.
He goes for 1 CS and doesn't even get it. Sad days for Mike. He finally risked poking his head out to go for 1 CS.
The turtle coming out of his shell.
Oh, and he's gonna get. Oh
no! Mike played so carefully. In this.
I know. He did. It's because he hit level 6, so he's like, "Oh, I'm level 6 now. I can risk going for farm because I got Stampede." But
the funny thing is, like, he was so careful, nobody was near him, and then he's like, "All right, guys, things are cool. I've got this."
That's just Dota 2 for you. That's not even like Mike. He was playing smart, and then it's like, well, at some point you got to go for farm because you're just throwing away like the game and your chances of scaling if you're not going for farm. So
yeah, this style of Dota is so annoying to play against. What people have started to realize is if you have some sort of initiating carry and you keep him off the map and just let him jungle, you can set up ganks pretty much anywhere, and everybody has to play really smart and patiently. And that's what Fire is doing as well. Ush is just constantly farming out the jungle stacks. You leave one of your supports, a hero like you don't want to gank like an AA. It's usually not worth your time to devote more than 2 heroes to. And then from there, you can get a lot of map movement out of your carries.
It reminds me of how Fire even played with Mike's Spirit Breaker. He just jungles with Morbid Mask, and you're constantly afraid that he's ganking you or charging you, but half the time he's just farming. He's not actually looking to gank you, but you play so timid because there's a Spirit Breaker, and Spirit Breaker notorious for just charging and ganking people on the map.
Yeah, the only people that are really showing themselves on the map at all time are Fada, because he's a difficult hero to gank, and you don't want to gank a Veno if people are behind him, because the Poison Nova that he's going to shoot off is just going to do too much damage. You don't want to clump up for a kill like that. And the other person showing on the map is TC, because the same thing exists with Viper. It takes too long to kill the hero. If backup comes at all, he can really turn it around on you. So when you're only showing these 2 heroes, especially for Mike, who can't take the jungle, it just becomes really difficult for him to play around.
Casual scouting Zeus ultimates, and this is the one where you can try find those heroes jungling it up or just trying to... you can figure out exactly who is alone. And we'll see the smoke getting towards top lane. Fire want Envy here. He's going for this Battlefield build. Will time walk into the trees, TP out, and they can't actually lack onto him.
Yeah, so, again, no real initiation coming the way of Fire.
And it looks like we're going to see just a tier 1 bottom tower maybe taken by Cloud9 with the rotation top. It seems Fire may just be looking for a tier 1 for a tier 1 kind of trade.
Yeah, everyone TP'd out into top lane to try to set up for that kill on Envy. And so when they do that, it represents the C9. They're like, oh, we're going to go for this free tower. And the way it's set up right now, they might actually get this tower and be able to go for something else, as they are smoked up. And Mike has to feel really good right now. He's like, they're pushing the bottom lane. I can finally take this mid tower.
Oh, Mike. I'm so sorry. This could just be a Chronosphere.
Flee, Mike.
Yep. I love that let's run away for half a second and come back to finish off the kill. Yeah, let's pretend that you're going to live. Not really. Envy gets hit by an Ice Blast. We'll see if he commits to this tier 1 mid tower. And I think after Fire take the top tier 1, you don't really know if they're TPing back and looking to defend here. So it's a bit of a risky play to make. But possibly 2 tier 1s going Cloud9's way. But you know, Fat are going to TP back, not even looking to finish off the bottom tower.
Yeah, I guess they're also really comfortable with going to the late game. Fada's picked up a Hand of Midas as well. Yep. It seems like it's just one of those games where everyone's like, they're like farming truce, guys.
Zeus is just throwing ultis left, right, and center, not even looking for kills. Oh, Envy, he's trying to snipe the tower. He's sneaking through. Doesn't have Morbid Mask.
Oh,
he's been scouted now. If he doesn't get scouted, I think he's just waiting for the Mask of Madness, and they can go in for the snipe and time walk away, but Glyph is available, and they'll get the deny for TC. Yeah, with a Glyph there, unless he completely caught Fire by surprise, it wasn't going to work. And bottom lane, Glyph available. Misery wants this tower. This should not be taken. Well, I guess no one's TPing.
It's
get
still a
glyphed.
solo Lion. You definitely shouldn't just let him push out the
One
tower.
TP, anything. Ice Blast is going to come through. Misery may pay the price if he goes for this one. Ice Blast, not going to hit him though.
Oh, now he's going to definitely feel really safe about this.
Someone's got a TP. Where's Mike? Stampede in. That's a solo kill for you, Mike.
Yeah, there's no way they should just let a
Oh,
Lion solo
no.
push down the tower like that, especially because they're not getting anything really in rebuttal.
Is he actually going? He's going Blink. No Misery Midas. He goes Blink.
That's a really quick blink though. He was playing the zoner and the stacker, so the fact that
Yep.
he's able to get this quickly is huge.
Well,
Be careful, Mike. Danger's afoot.
I guess for now Misery's alone. He's looking for solo kills. Fogged has got a point booster and an Ogre Club back at base.
He's actually so huge for all the supports right now.
Yeah, he's
You just look at net worth.
by far the most farmed support. I mean,
By
at this
1600
point,
gold.
he's the 3 player. Mike's playing 5 right now, and Fluff is playing 4.
That's actually like the most accurate way to look at this game right now. I mean, they did find a jungle stack, or they are stacking the jungle finally, hopefully for Mike. Like, I think delaying his Blink Dagger past the 20-minute mark is just a mistake.
Well, didn't
Oh,
think.
in mid.
I thought Fog was tanky enough, but they used the Zeus ulti as well, and he didn't have his Ogre Club. Actually, no, he did. He even had
Yeah.
the Ogre Club. Okay.
Just the damage from the stun and the level 1 Finger of Death value is so high.
He might have. I think the Ogre Club may have just been moved from his stash after he died. I'm not sure on that. But
Yeah.
Fluff's effigy. Liquid are doing it. I've not cast Fluff since these effigies, and randomly clicked that.
Oh,
What
and
a
a
player.
bottom Fluff. He's gonna get gone on. The stun does go off though. Mike, it's your moment.
Well, he lives. TC looking for a counter kill, but will not find it. No swap, no stun available. And top lane, there was an initiation onto Fog, but he managed to TP away from the Venomancer. Here comes Ash. Wants Envy, and Envy has a Time Walk available, and can't really look to Omni Slash him down. Need that Blink Dagger. The Blink Dagger Jug could be... I wouldn't mind seeing as his next item, just to be able to chase the Void down.
Yeah, especially with Mike being gimped the way he is. He's only got 1.2k gold, and it's really showing in Fire's lineup right now, because every time they're playing really reactionary Dota, something happens and then they react to it, they run over, but they have no real ways of stopping anybody or initiating on anybody.
Dang. Fogged, second time in a row, I've just seen him go top and have to just TP away from a solo Venomancer. Fata's just pushing so greedily up this lane, and he's low HP, low mana, doesn't have a rune.
He doesn't.
He has not. He's like, if you guys want to gank me with 3 heroes, you can kill me. Probably you won't because I've got this Blink TP. And
Yeah, now he's gonna get out. He realizes, as you say, that that's a little bit too greedy, but he
Against
can
an
get away
Ice
with
Blast
stuff like
even?
that.
Yeah.
The only way that you're gonna gank him is if they smoke around and go around on him, but it's so obvious if they do that. And he realizes Mike still doesn't have his Blink Dagger,
Yep.
and he's okay with that.
they have got like the Wave of Terror to cancel a Blink and a few kind of annoying things they can do, but it just doesn't feel worth it half the time. So for Cloud9, they fall back. They seem to be doing pretty well, out-farming their opponents. 3,000 net worth lead. Battle Fury now picked up for Envy. Some good kind of reliable damage to go with the Morbid Mass. Seems to be the build he's been going for instead of the Maelstrom as of late.
It's a little bit more farm-oriented and less mid-game-oriented. The Maelstrom gives you a lot of cheap damage. It gives Void a lot of things that he doesn't have. The attack speed, the magic damage, and it's a pretty good item overall. But I guess with Envy saying, in situations like this when you're against a Jug and you realize that he's just as good of a mid-game carry, you might as well just try to outscale him late.
Alright. Rush has actually completed Manta style now, so won't be seeing that Blink Dagger build. When Envy goes into the Roshan pit, Ice Blast have been constantly thrown that direction to scout it out, but the previous one saw no one in there, and then immediately afterwards Cloud9 actually go in, and they've got great coverage around the pit. They're going to de-ward one of these wards here, and even though right now I think Fire realize Roche is going down, contesting it with no vision and Plague Wards all around the pit is very challenging. They're going to throw an Ice Blast, which may actually slow this down.
Alright, and here's Mike. He's got his Blink Dagger almost. If he just farms,
Yeah.
he's ignoring everything that's happening right now.
He doesn't
which
care
I
about
think-
Roche. He's
yeah.
like, if they're Roshing, this is good for us.
Yeah, this is ideal moment right now to pick it back up.
Yeah. And top lane Misery needs to be careful here. If he gets scouted, he's done for. And oh, Mike. No, Mike.
Oh, he's getting mana back. And no, did he get his blink in time? No, he doesn't.
Usher's going to get the counter kill.
You
but
gotta kill him for this one.
yeah, let's... Some revenge. Fluff doesn't have the stun.
Oh, he doesn't have mana. Is he
He
gonna...
doesn't want to Omni Slash, but he may have to.
Oh no, he gets the juke off as well.
Doesn't have a TP, but...
They definitely don't know where he is.
Oh, Mike is just fuming right now, I'm sure.
Mike's
Two
been-
salties and Lion realizes, oh, I'm going to live. Alright, they stopped chasing me.
Oh, and they might actually go for the counter kill here. Misery starts blinking up. He does get the Hex off. He has a mana drain available. Fada not in range though for the Gale.
Yeah, Ush was nearby, I guess. Otherwise, maybe would have gone for the mana drain because there was mana drain for like half a second, and there wouldn't have been an Avenge done.
Yeah, I think Ush should have just gone for the ultimate. Yeah. In all honesty, I think it was worth it. Misery's a really high level.
He's just like we're in this farm game. You ulti for a support at this stage in a farm-based game. You're not. It's like the Void. You Chronosphere for that support Centaur kill or whatever it may be. You're not finding any openings. I don't think we've seen more than we've only seen the one Omni Slash the entire game at bottom.
Oh, and Mike, he gets picked off again. Eternal Envy finds him in the jungle. He's so close.
Well, I guess he's Aegis,
yeah,
so
he
it
is
doesn't
the
even
Aegis
matter.
as well.
He'll take that.
Fire not able to catch up to him. Ush is running. Doesn't really matter though. And Bone 7 is ready. This is so smart. He realizes he's going to stay in the jungle. Ush goes for him, but Batrider does have the ultimate available. But Envy gets out of there.
He had Mask of Madness even up. He could have gone for that kill on Ush.
They definitely would have killed him. He only had 700 health.
Mask of Madness with the lasso. I guess Envy maybe just not confident that Bone 7 was close enough to protect him, but it's... I mean, a kill on Ush would have been pretty huge at this stage, but it's still a win for Cloud9, it feels like, as Envy gets Viper Strike, then he'll be on his merry way.
Yeah, and is there an Ags on TC? Yes, there is. So he has no issues with throwing those out. I guess the one saving grace right now for Fire is that they are playing this farm-based game, but Fog does have a lot. He's getting really close to an Aghanim Scepter. He does have the Midas, so their supports are going to be pretty useful in the late game.
There's the Jug Blink too, so I feel like he just needs this so he doesn't get kited around.
Yeah, there's no way that Misery should have been able to get out like he did up at the top lane.
Well, Fire now going to try to finish Fog's Blink at top lane, but Venomancer may look to zone him out. Venom, by the way, has completed an Ag Scepter back at base, so there's a lot of farm going around on both sides. AA is going to have Ag Scepter with a level 11 ultimate, unless he gets kind of picked off, gets the Mike treatment perhaps, but it seems they're just giving that exclusively to IX Mike right now.
Yeah, I think they realize at this point, they're like, oh, we can't initiate anywhere on the map. Mike definitely has to get his Blink Dagger. And remember how close he was to it. At the top lane, I think it was 19 minutes and 30 seconds in, and he was like 100 gold off and Misery ganked him.
He's 50 gold away, Mike. Just sit at Fountain.
Look how far back he's swinging. He's not even jungling anymore. He's like, this is it.
Oh, they found TC now. He's going to get swapped out. He's actually still alive for the time being. Throws out one Viper Strike, and Fata looking for a TP out. No stun available. Mike not going to get there in time. The kill does go down on the line. That's the Juggernaut. Yep, it's the Omni Slash. He's not going to make the same mistake twice as Ush secures that kill. And 1-for-0 trade. Not really much going Cloud9's way elsewhere. They did even have the Void going in for that fight.
Yeah, and that was the power of the swap. Just being able to reposition him. And like I said, if the Viper's going to live even for a second, he's going to turn it around on you, especially with that Ag Scepter. And the bigger thing here is that Mike finally gets his Blink Dagger, and this is what Fire's been waiting for the entire game. They've kind of just been picked, they've been picked off like one kill after another, but with Mike getting his Blink Dagger now, they can finally mount some sort of aggression.
And look at this, Jug hits level 16, he finds another kill, a solo kill on the Zeus there without even the Omni Slash. I mean, Zeus, you can't really escape from a Mask of Madness Jug when he has Blink Dagger, so...
Yeah. And that's the power of the Mask of Madness. You can just run people down without the use of drums or investing in something like that.
Very cost effective. I mean, like, because you've got that protection from like a nuke or a Lion Blink in with the Blade Fury, it's kind of like it's a BKB where you can't deal damage during because your Blade Fury kind of, I mean, he's not even leveling it up. It's not really something you use for offensive capabilities beyond 20-25 minutes, but he's now picked up an ultimate orb, so probable Lincoln Sphere coming Ush's way to deal with the lasso and even a Blink Hex from the Lion. He's offering a lot to this team right now.
Yeah, he's getting pretty tanky as well, going for the Manta first. And the crazy thing is, he's gone for the Manta Mask of Madness, and he's actually keeping up and beating Envy and Farm, who opted to go for the Battle Fury.
Yeah. Envy gonna now go back for the Daedalus as his next item of choice. He's just hiding in the side here. He has got the Blink on cooldown. Blink also, of course, great against the Chronosphere. If you see Envy coming your way, being able to just Blink dodge those Chronospheres during that kind of Time Walk or Chronosphere cast time. Always valuable.
Viper picks up his Blink as well. Or does he? He actually bought one and then sold it?
No.
Oh, he's going to go for the Casual Cloak instead.
Oh, maybe a pipe. We'll see if that's the plan.
He could have picked up the hood, though, in the side shop, if he wanted the full pipe.
I feel like you don't want to be filling an inventory slot with a cloak at 26 minutes in. When you're farming with a Midas and looking like you're going to reach ultra late game, just a Casual Cloak doesn't seem like a value item unless you're like a support or something.
Yeah, and Envy set up on this top lane. I don't think TC wants to show himself quite yet.
There's the Zeus ultimate. They're going to actually catch up Mike at bottom. Finger and everything.
Oh, poor Mike. I feel for you, buddy.
Rough game.
Yeah, Fada's actually huge. He's got a Blink Dagger, an Aghanim Scepter, a Hand of Midas. He's definitely ready for the late game.
Yeah. This is where he can start going for utility items like a Scythe of Vice if he wants, can just tank up and get like the, I don't know, Assault Crest for the team, Heart of Tarask even. There's just so many items he can go just to make himself a late game monster.
Yeah, and both supports on C9 have picked up the item that I think they need to go. They go for the Force Staff, which I think against a lineup like Fire's where they limit mobility, Force Staff's an excellent choice. Especially if the Void time walks in, you want a way to get him out in case things go south.
One other thing is you definitely want Ghost Scepters as well against the Jug. Oh, and the top lane during the Magic Missile Stun, they blow him up with an Omni Slash. That was a not easy to execute gank. The stun from Fog in the trees and Ush with the immediate Omni Slash.
Yeah, they just had to queue it up one after another to give him as little time to react as possible. Able to go for that kill, and maybe this tier 2 tower, it looks like Mike's making his way up here. Fog definitely doesn't need to be up there, he's just a walking ultimate. Ice
Blast will kind of at least give some cover fire as well, although as soon as that misses, maybe C9 think about an engage, but it's bottom lane. Engage on a Fog tier. Fog is actually fine, he's going to look for the turnaround here. Stampede forward, is he going to go for the slow? No, he's just going for the right click. Sparta has bottle charges though, and Fog is dead. Maybe not the chase he wanted. And top lane, the real fight broke out. Batrider died.
And Lion.
Not sure. They initiated into... I guess the Stampede allowed Fire to chase him down, and Bakami forced to buy back. High ground. Fire are breaching it, and Void does not have buyback. He bought the Daedalus, and we won't see a buyback, although it looks like it won't be needed.
Yeah, I think they're completely content with what just happened.
Yeah.
I think
Fog made a bit of a mistake bottom lane though.
Yeah, but Bone 7 was a little bit too aggressive as well. He TPs into the tower thinking like, oh, I'm cool, completely cool doing this. I can blink or Force Staff out. But he just kind of misjudged the amount of distance he could cover.
I guess with he's gone the full mobility build with the 4-staff, Boots of Travel, and Mask of Madness for movement speed.
Yeah, but Stampede, that's the equalizer.
Yeah. Right now, Fluff, level 10. Level 2 swap, I feel, is going to be very important in this game as far as what Fire have moving forward. And for now, Fire, I'd say this game looking like 50-50 almost to some extent.
Yeah, it really benefited C9 in the beginning, but Mike going to get caught out in this mid lane again. Definitely dead.
Yeah.
No way for him to survive there. But I think that's, as like weird as it sounds, at this point, killing Mike doesn't mean too much. Because he's, like you said, it's not like he's
a 5. He's got his core items.
Yeah, he's a 4K net worth hero at this point that's like level 11. Like, it doesn't really do too much for you.
He's not buying any more big items this game. He's not getting a BKB. He's maybe getting a 4-staff if he wins a fight or two with his team, but
yeah.
That's about it for Mike, I imagine. As far as late game goes, I mean, Cloud9, Faceless Void late game with Refresh Your Ultimate, I feel it, and Batrider also, like, 2 great late game heroes, so it does feel like Fire are going to have to play this late game very well to deal with Void. I feel like Void, there's just so much room for error when you have a Refresher, even if that first Chronosphere just catches like one hero, or maybe you don't get any kills because of a Avenge swap, you still have that like second ultimate, and it's so hard to fight a Void late game.
Yeah, and Ush is actually electing to go for the Scotty off the bat, and these are just a lot of utility I'm saying this so weird. Utility items that he's going for. He's got the Blink Dagger, the Manta Style, the Eye of Scotty. Those aren't the kind of items that you want to have for the ultra late game.
Yeah, I feel like you want like Abyssal Blade, maybe a Lincoln's for the lasso, but Abyssal Blade, like, do you have to blink Abyssal, like lock someone down?
Abyssal with the Jug ult is actually the most annoying thing ever, or just a Basher in general.
Yeah.
It gives you unexpected bashes, which is like the worst thing ever. You just don't expect to get bashed, and then you do, and it can lock you down.
Alright. Well, Roshan seems to be the next objective for C9, and they should be able to control the pit. We saw last time with Venomancer and just the de-warding they have from the Zeus that it's pretty hard for Fire to actually get into the Roshan pit to contest.
Yeah, especially if you set up early and you don't really have a lot of vision on that side of the map. Dire Advantage does take that into advantage for the Rosh. I think C9 should have gone a lot more than they should have, though, in the mid-game. They had complete vision control. Mike got absolutely nothing, so there was no real way for them to initiate. I think they might have just played this game a little bit too carefully. I think with the Faceless Void and the Batrider both picking up core items so quickly, you could have gone for pushes. Fire doesn't have the best way to initiate on you, so you're always going to get the jump on them before they get the jump on you. So maybe they should have gone for more tier 2s here. Especially the one at top. Remember when Fada was up there alone by himself? Pushing. Those are definitely advantages that you can take advantage of.
With an Aegis Void and a Venomancer as farmed as he was, it feels like they could have just, yeah, I mean, 5-manned a bit more, but it's never really been Cloud9 style. They're all about kind of that farming efficiency and split pushing across the map. Envy with a DD rune. He's probably telling his team, like, this is it. This is the rune I've been waiting for 15, 20 minutes. And
yeah, he's gotten a lot of bounty runes and like 1 haste.
yeah, I think even a couple regen runes, which are kind of nice, but don't really help him out that much.
Yeah.
So the Skadi's complete. At this point, I mean, it helps him 1v1 man-fight avoid, but I feel like that's not a scenario which is going to ever really happen. There's always going to be lassos, there's going to be the Venge stuns and Centaur stuns coming into play. It's not about just 1v1 man-fighting avoid. If anything, all this time is giving him maybe is a bit of extra kind of stats and survivability from the armor as well as the HP.
Yeah, and I think that was the last item that they were waiting for, the Scotty and the Jug. They are looking to get aggressive. Maybe scout out the Roche first?
Oh, they're going to be like 10 seconds too early, perhaps, if they go in there right away. But no, they're going to the Ancients. And
Envy, he might get spotted out here. Mike, he's in position. He does have the blink up. He's going to... Oh my god, Envy manages to get the time walk off before him, though.
That was like a 0.1 second time walk in time, it feels like. And they howled into Roshan. So they like, okay, Roche hasn't respawned. And it's going to be back in 5 seconds time, unfortunately.
And this is going to be the perfect situation for them, too. They're kind of caught in between a hard spot and a rock because Fada's pushing this top lane out meanwhile.
Yeah. Maybe a Stampede out. Zeus going to ulti just to cancel out any Blink Daggers or further chase. And the T2 tower does go down. It looks like Fire are going to have to just retreat out. Try not to get anyone picked off by a Bat Rider, although it looks like Bone 7 is fully backed off for now. And
the problem, though, is if you retreat like this, you're going to give up the Roshan opening as well.
It's just one at top, but the problem is that one at top is likely to get picked off, and Ush now is going to be fine. Bat Rider coming in pretty damn fast with a Finger of Death at the ready as well. Needs to Manta style quickly, but he's got no Manta available. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. They're not going to go for it. Too many Fire heroes missing off the map, it seems. They don't see what we see, which is that Ush was completely alone.
Yeah, and it was a little bit obvious. Eternal Envy showed himself in the middle lane, and the Zeus doesn't have his ultimate up. They're definitely not going to go for the kill at top. It's too risky. The turnaround potential from the Juggernaut is too high.
Yeah.
But they are going to go for the smart thing here. They realize that Ush was farming the top lane, and so this is a free Roshan for C9.
The DD rune, and just easy pickings there. Mike comes in, but it's too late. Damage has been done, and slightly unfortunate for Fire. First the gank on Envy where he got the time walk off, and then right afterwards scouting Roshan, seeing it's not up, and if they'd scouted Roche, I think they'd take it themselves. Juggernaut can bring it down very quickly with the minus armor from the Wave of Terror.
That was just kind of a hard position to be in, because meanwhile at your top lane... Oh, and top! Bone 7 does get picked off by Ush. That's a pretty big kill.
Yeah, that is. He's going for the Shadow Blade now, picks up a Shadow Amulet, and let's see what Ush does next. I feel like Abyssal Blade has to be his final item.
Yeah. Maybe he goes for a Butterfly if he's
in mid. They want to take down the Aegis here. Misery comes in as well. Envy thinking about a Chronosphere, doesn't have Time Walk, and the poison damage will not finish him off. 2 seconds for a Time Walk, but
that was probably okay. Yeah. C9 expended the Zeus ult, but they've been using that all game.
Fire just, I mean, and for Fire, they use a Stampede, but I feel like that was a bit of a, no one really gained much out of that.
Yeah. But as I was saying at top, Fada was pushing the top lane for the tier 2, and so for Fire, once that smoke broke and they didn't kill Envy, that was like the worst situation to be in. If they killed Envy there, they would have been perfectly fine giving up the tier 2 at top.
By the way, Envy's got an Invis rune, so he finds Mike. Who else does he find? Oh, and he steals the Time Walk to escape. Gets hit by Viper Strike and the A. Ice Blast here. He's got Mask of Manus on too, so he's taking some bonus damage. It's gonna be.
Oh, he's getting so many ticks. Oh, Backtrack God. Oh, he's definitely the Backtrack God. I think he's actually gonna survive this.
From Backtrack?
Yeah, perhaps. He actually got like 5 in a row there.
It's a level 2 Ice Blast, so they had to get down to that 11%. 1 or 2 less may have been a kill there, but
that would have been pretty huge too if you could have taken out the Aegis.
Yeah.
But the Chrono's down, so they're going to go for the push.
Ooh, interesting little play. Mike is going to be respawning. He can't actually get to this fight, but he can Stampede from base, and he also needs to deal with this, well, this +7 bonus damage Lion, who's pushing like a madman. That bonus damage, man. Look at Lion split push. Ice Blast gets used. Ush will take the mid-tier 2 tower with Viper getting the last hit, and Fire not going to go high ground. They can kind of safely back... Well, they seem to be able to... They think they can safely back off. No Chronosphere, but TC runs into Envy. And
this is such an awkward place for Fire right now.
Yeah. TC going to be the one they try and go on. It's a lasso onto an illusion. TC got the Manta off.
That was so...
Oh. Meanwhile, in the bottom river, it's going to be... It looks like Fogged being sacrificed. Fluff and stuff on the run. He has a TP out, needs to find somewhere to hide, and does do so. Zeus, a lightning bolt, gets vision. The Hex to follow, and Fluff and stuff going to go down as well. Nice play there by Notel. to get the vision fluff. Okay, not gonna know that one.
He's gonna go down, but as soon as Ush TP's out of there and Fire has to walk back, that's so awkward for them.
That's... There was 2 or 3 heroes flanking from behind. It's like Fire because Cloud9 because they're always farming your side of the map, your neutrals and all that. They just get that full surround, and like Envy was at like the Radiant Ancients or something, just coming in for a backstab.
Yeah, that was really, really good maneuvering by C9. But they do manage to pick up the tier 2 tower in return, and that's really huge. Just for mobility purposes.
Yep.
There's only 1 tier 2 tower left in the game for C9, same as Fire, and I think that they should have a bigger tower advantage, especially with how much we've seen C9 go for split pushes this game alone.
Yeah. I feel like for Fire this is okay though. This is an Aegis Void, and the fact that they haven't even... They're not going to be able to break high ground with it, it feels like. Maybe they make an attempt now. They've still got about, what, 1 minute and a half left on the Aegis, but it's difficult to go high ground against this Fire team. Viper's just going to be on the front lines with an Ags, Manta Style, and buyback, and killing him is just really difficult.
Yeah.
Also, you have to use so many spells, it's just not really worth it if he's just going to buy back.
Plus, the Venge swap is always going to be there for the Chrono. Until Envy gets... He's going to have to get fluff and stuff in the Chrono as well, and it's so awkward to be able to do so. Because he's going to stand so far back.
He needs... It's definitely getting to that stage. I don't see Cloud9 winning this game until Envy has a Refresher as like his 6th item. Unless like we can get constant pickoffs coming out of Bone 7's Batrider or something, but... Next Roshan going to be the name of the game for Cloud9 as well. Get that next Roshan, get something like a Refresher Orb on Envy, and play the ultra late game Void.
Yeah, there's a gem now on No Tail. That's going to be really... That's probably the best item that he can pick up for the value. Doesn't just have to run around bolting everything on the ground.
Yeah. So, Shadow Blade for Bone 7. He's reaching that 6-slotted Batrider status as well.
The awkward 6-slot. Where you've got a Mask of Madness and
Mask
a
of
Shadow
Madness,
Blade.
4-star Shadow Blade. No expensive items in there, but...
I feel like he needs a little bit more HP, don't you? 1100 HP on an Initiator like this.
He's glass cannon as far as... I mean, he's not dealing damage, but as far as his mobility, being able to find pickoffs, if he doesn't get hexed or locked down or caught by a Venge stun, he gets a kill for his team very quickly, but... Aegis expires, and it seems the plan is to go for some kills here. They catch out Big Daddy No Tail. Easy pick up on the Zeus, and...
Maybe this means high ground for them. And they pick up the gem. That's probably the bigger thing that they just
Void's
got out of
got
that
Refresher,
exchange.
though. This is something they may be expecting to come soon, but are they expecting it right now? Does he have buyback on top of this? Yeah, he has buyback and Refresher. That is huge to have for a high ground defense.
Yeah,
I don't see this going well for Fire. Unless they somehow whiff the Chronosphere or kill the Void, force the buyback without using too many spells, and then when they see the buyback, just back off.
I don't think they're going to go for this, though. It's really risky. They know that the Void is still up. He hasn't shown himself on the map, and it's only a Zeus that went down.
Yeah.
And you're in a pretty good position if you're Fire right now. You're getting
well.
pickoffs here and there. In the Tower War, they're not even that far behind. I guess the only thing that they could do a better job of this game right now is taking control of the Roshan.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult this game, it feels like, against the gem and just constant dewarding and map control that the Venom provides. Ush scouted out by an Observer Ward.
Here's the Chrono.
No swap available. Where's the Vengeful Spirit? On the low ground, doesn't actually have the swap.
And there's the
the last second swap. Gets the Juggernaut out. Can he turn an Omni Slash as a healing ward? It's not going to save him, though. Mike gets 1 kill before he's going to go down. It looks like TC dead as well. Oh...
That's a full man wipe. That was so huge. He got too many hits on Ush before he could do anything. The Manta wasn't going to save him there. And Eternal Envy, more important than the Refresher, is the fact that he had a DD rune bottled and ready to go.
Yeah. Bottled DD with Refresher Chrono. That was like the perfect time for Cloud9 to fight. This is why Envy goes bottle every game on like these carries.
Because if you pick up a DD rune or even a late game illusion or haste, it can mean so much for your pushes.
It's like a 7. It's like an item in itself. Like Bottle basically becomes a tier 4 item for 700 gold with a DD rune or a haste or whatever it may be.
Yeah, and the value that it provided right there was immense.
Well, Envy going to be kept away. Is not going to be able to go for the racks right now. Viper going to TP into the front lines after buying back though. So a death for TC would be problematic. Envy going to come back in this time with support. Viper Strike going to slow him down. Has the Morbid Mask on as well, so taking quite a bit of damage. Swap back, and it looks like they want No Tail. He does get off a sick 4-star to the low ground. The Impale going to catch up Fluff, but Mike is there with the Blink combo and brings him down. Bone 7 wants the gem. Will grab the gem. There we go. Make sure he doesn't come out of that Shadow Blade. And Fire. They hold on to their melee racks up top, but a big team fight going the way of Cloud9.
Yeah, I think Cloud9, I mean, obviously they're satisfied with how that fight happened. The big thing that happened there was Fada just kind of ran in, and like a StarCraft 2 Baneling, he just exploded, and he was like, okay, I'm okay with this. I've got the ultimate off on all of you. And then from there, it was just locking Ush down. Yeah. Even if Ush was able to get the ultimate down, it's on the Aegis, or no, he didn't have an Aegis, actually. But it's still on the Void, and you want to try to get it off on more heroes than just that.
Yeah, because even if the Void had the Aegis. I think he did have the Aegis.
Oh, during that time? Okay, good.
I think the Aegis expired afterwards? I'm not sure.
Regardless, if you're only ulting the Void, the fight, no matter what, still would have been like 4 for 1 at best.
Yeah.
Like, you want Ush in the center of the other heroes.
Alright, well. We'll see what the plan's going to be. Fata's picked up a Hex on his Venomancer.
He's actually so farmed. He's pretty much got everything he wants to at this point in the game.
And
there's no
bottle,
BKBs
so
either.
He can even add one more big item to this. Maybe a Refresher, so he gets 2 ultis and 2 hexes
No, that doesn't
off.
do anything. I don't think they don't stack, right? There's
no, they don't stack. But like, I guess it's a.
But he's gonna die
60-second cooldown. So yeah, maybe not.
Maybe he just gets tank here.
2 hexes. I don't know. Yeah, I think Heart of Tarrasque, Skadi even against like a. I don't know, the Jug. Assault Cuirass would be okay.
I don't know what the item is this game.
I mean, I don't think it matters. I think he could just buy the wards for the team from here on out. He's got, like you said, he's got all he needs, really. So.
Once you, I feel like once you, blink Ags, everything after that is just kind of,
yeah.
You're hopeful.
I feel like even if he didn't have a Hex right now, if somehow he dropped his Hex and got destroyed, it wouldn't really change how any team fight broke out. Maybe it means you can find the Jug and gank him with a Blink Hex. Well, I guess if Lion's not there, for example, but you've got Lion with a Blink Hex, you've got Batrider with Blink Lasso. There's so much good catching from Cloud9's draft.
If I had to go back in time and replay this game as Fire's coach, I would tell them, try to get Mike a little bit more. Like, we were kind of laughing about how he was like just close to the Blink Dagger, but I don't think he should have been in that position anyways, where he's struggling to get a 21-minute Blink Dagger. I think if he just had like 3 or 4 jungle stacks, and he had some sort of somebody just like stacking there for him, protecting him a little bit more, they could have gotten a lot more out of this game. Because they were helpless. Like, they just had to run around as 4. They couldn't really get initiations off on anybody that they wanted to without any Blink Dagger on him. And I think Mike getting a lot more this game is kind of like the key to initiating in general.
They were giving Mike like the dangerous farm on the map. Like, even 15 minutes in, he was going top while Ush was taking the jungle. I guess Cloud9 had a draft where, like, a lot of drafts, your Jug gets in a good early start. You can send him to the offlane to farm that, where it's kind of risky. But against a Void, against a Batrider, it's kind of hard to do that. But
maybe instead of giving the AA the safe lane, you give Ush a little bit more farm in the safe lane. Or you give that to Mike, actually, and just kind of sit one hero behind him.
I think like the AA was getting the safe lane and should have maybe been in the off lane where Mike was kind of feeding.
Yeah, because if you kill an AA there, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But Mike getting big farm there, like we said, we talked about so much this game, so much relied on Mike being able to get initiations off.
The other big pivotal moment is still when the Envy, when they almost caught him with the Ancients. I feel like if Fire had got that kill and then got Roshan...
That was a Roshan and a kill on a carry. They could have gone high ground with that.
I mean, that right there could be Fire winning the game. So even with how things went out... Uh-oh, there's a Blink Hex. Ush is done for. He's got a Chain Hex, a second Impale.
So many ults going off on him right now.
Lasso. That was double Hex, Lasso, and Impale. The lockdown duration was just...
The Zeus ult as well. The Poison Nova.
Yeah.
That was pretty much everything they've got.
4, 7.5, you get another, like, 2 and a bit. Jeez, that's, like, 13 seconds of stun lock. 14 seconds with the lasso. I mean, they didn't chain stun it perfectly, but when you've got 14 seconds of lockdown, I don't think you need to chain stun it perfectly.
Yeah, you're pretty okay. And when 4 ultimates go on 1 hero, that generally means that guy's going to die as well.
Does have buyback, so we will see them maybe try and bait Cloud9 into their base here.
I feel like get them to overextend here.
Yeah, they don't want to just use the buyback and force them back. They want to use the buyback to make something happen. Because right now, Cloud9 are just kind of dictating play too much. So if they can hold on to the buyback, that's also pretty good. As long as they don't lose a Rax, of course.
Envy's about to pick up another major item, though.
Oh dear. He likes... Last game he was going bootsless when he got the Aegis, so... I think he will pick up another item and like drop the treads and... maybe just go around without. Although he had a Blink Dagger there, so he had like Blink plus Time Walk for mobility without boots.
And they actually see this Roshan happening. They do have that ward there on the high ground. The AAL is going to fly, but you don't want to waste an Ush ult Ush buyback just for this. I think it would be too late anyways, and C9 recognizes that they're still going for it.
Viper? Yeah, making his way in.
They're running over. They do have the boots of travel. Maybe he TPs to the bottom lane and they maybe contest this.
Cheese and Aegis, and it looks like Cheese going to be consumed. Doesn't actually get the regen because of the Ice Blast here. Envy taking quite a bit of damage. Going to refresh, go for a second one, but catches out Fluff as well. Now the buyback's coming in. It's Lion buying back after dying. Envy wants his kill on the Viper, but he's going to go down first. Now the lasso comes in. Asher's locked in place. Needs to get off a Manta or an Omni Slash. Can't do either. Hexed up for a second time. He gets taken out without getting off a single spell, and now he does not have buyback. Fata going to blink after Fogged, and Fogged, no chance for a TP out. 4 dead now. Viper on the run. Probably going to get chased down as Envy
he's got a haste rune. He's all good.
No, not happening.
But he doesn't have a TP, so he's got to do like the longest, most awkward walk ever.
Yeah, go into the Dire base and buy one maybe. Oh no, then Zeus TP's back and kills you. So.
What a disastrous fight. There's just so much lockdown available for C9.
Yeah.
And they're playing the thing is they're playing the fight so perfectly. Like they're chaining everything in order. Everybody knows the game plan. Nobody's wasting anything on anybody else. Because where's the damage coming out from Fire at this point without the juggle?
Yeah. And the nice thing with this Veno Hex, that means Fata can be the one kind of preventing the Jug Omni Slash. Because if you see the Lion, you immediately looking to use your Omni Slash before he blink hexes you. But you're not, like, Fata wants to be in the front lines while Misery does not.
Yeah, the counter initiation from C9 is just really strong. And Ush, I guess the problem here is with the Juggernaut ult, you want to hit it with a clump of heroes. Whereas the Faceless Void ult, you can just expend it for 1 or 2 heroes, and you're always going to get value.
And it's so hard to like find a good target. Even someone like Batrider can just Shadow Blade and avoid most of the Omni Slash. We'll see Fluff get sniped and Jug dead for 10 more seconds. Will be coming back alive, but we've seen just time and time again how easily Cloud9 can deal with him when he's alive.
Oh my god, that timing.
Envy going for a Chronosphere. No, he just wants the tower. Ice Blast is going to finish him off. The Omni Slash. Whoa-oh.
That looks so weird. It was
time
because he was hasted. No, he was like hasted because he was in the chrono, but it was like following
okay.
him. It just looked really awkward.
It was a weird melee range Time Walk. I think it was trying to like juke the Viper Strike or something. It does follow you after Time Walk, but maybe if you Time Walk into it, can you actually dodge the Viper Strike? Do you know?
No, I don't think so. I think it follows you no matter
what.
Because remember at bottom he Time Walked right when it hit him. It still did the damage.
What if you like Time Walk into it though, so it like meets you while you're in Time Walk? Like
I think it still hits. I mean, at that point, you're probably dead if you're time walking into the.
I mean, that's what it kind of looked like. I don't know what he was doing, to be honest. There, that was a very weird time walk. Dagon 5 going to be the build for Fata, and as far as late game items go, this seems like a pretty nice little pickup. Get some more burst damage.
There's no BKBs. You might as well
kill Jug during the Hex a bit easier. Well, they've still got Rack standing on the Fire side. From that point of view, you still got a chance.
Most of the tier 3s are down though. So going high ground at this point is going to be really easy. If Fire makes any sort of mistake outside of their base, it's going to mean racks. It's going to be multiple racks.
What's Bone 7 going for? He picks up a Perseverance. Probable... or a Refresher. Okay, I was about to say Lincoln's maybe against something like a swap, but... it seems for Team Fire, it's 5 men down the mid lane, hope for the best. Void is dead, no Chronosphere for 10 seconds, but that's when he's respawning, so that's not an issue. And Void does have the Refresher, yeah. Refresher on Void and Batrider for this hole. This is... I feel like Usher's just going to get picked off so easily if he
actually just
attacking the tower.
I think he's good. He's got a Sacred Relic. He's got his Abyssal Blade now.
This is such a risky push, and they're going to lose the creep wave. They've also had a Zeus creep skipping them of all heroes. Fog going to be stampeded out of there, and I think this is being used defensively. No, the Hex on the side. It's Fluff actually getting initiated here by Fata. The dagger available. Fluff going to go down to the poison damage, it looks like.
Push gets caught again by the second refresh chrono. This has to mean game, I think, for Fire.
He's got no buyback, and Fog now going to get caught out by the Impale as well. TP out from Mike for the first fight. We see a Mike survive. And, yeah, down the mid lane, I think this is it. I think this is that last push which is going to end them. There is a Viper buyback, but that's about it.
It's definitely not going to be able to save their base at this point. Bone 7 has his Refresher. He's got his ultimate up. He's going to be able to lasso twice if he wants. They're just going to march down this mid lane. Not much that they have to wait for.
They're going to call it. I mean, Fire haven't won a team fight in 15-20 minutes, it feels
things
like.
don't get better at this point for them.
So game 1 goes the way of Cloud9 in the winner bracket finals of the Dota 2 Asia Championships. Best of 3 though, so winner of this guaranteed a spot in the grand finals. Not guaranteed a spot in China, as only one team out of America goes there, but Cloud9 the heavy favorites, I'd say.
Yeah, especially with the way that they just played right now. I think though Fire was in a good position, they were close enough. I think if they make the adjustment of giving Mike a little bit more farm there, maybe they can get stuff started on the map, because they just look stagnant. For the 20-minute mark. And that's not when you want to be stagnant with the lineup with Jug and Viper.
All right. Well, we'll take a break. When we come back, myself, Godz, as well as Blitz will be bringing you guys Game 2 of this best of 3 series. Stick around for Fire vs Cloud9.